rules of divisibility. Because if you know that a number goes into a number evenly, which is what the rules of divisibility are, you know if it's prime or composite, or if it's not going to be prime. And that's what divisibility is. Can be divided by evenly. And let's just shoot these down here. We'll go fast because we've done this before. 2, 3, 5. Let's see what numbers they give. There's a whole bunch here. 2, 3, 5, and let's just do 9. Well, maybe we'll just do 2, 3, 5. You just do 2, 3, 5. Now, let's do this. A number can be divided by 2 if what's the case? We already talked about it. It's really fast. Brianna Massey, if it is even, right? 2 goes into any even number. 436 can be divided by 2. 721 cannot be divided by 2. Odd numbers not, even numbers yes. The number 3, do you remember this from last year? How do you know if 3 will go into a number? For example, 111,111. Is that prime or composite, and how do I know? Well, it's not even, so 2 doesn't go into it, but does 3 go into it? And why? Elijah Fisher.
Because if you add all 6 when they add up to the
What do we call that rule? Does anybody remember? There's a name for this rule, which Elijah Fisher said the thing is, if when you take all of the digits and add them together, 1 plus 1 plus 1, plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, all 6 of those ones added together give you 6. If 3 goes into that number, then 3 goes into this number, which is what most people do now. Let's try it. 111,111. Does 3 go into those? 3 times that is 9. You get 21, 7. 3 doesn't go into 1, but 3 goes into 11 3 times, which is 9, 21. Okay, that's calculus. Anybody know what that rule is called? That rule is called, Isabel? Yes. It's the sum of the digits rule. Sum of the digits, not S-O-M-E, but S-U-M-E. Does 3 go into 323? Add the digits together, 3 plus 2 plus 3, which is 3 plus 2 plus 3. It's a tough one. 8. Does 3 go into 8? No. So 3 does not go into 323. Does that mean 323 is prime? Could be. You still probably want to check to see if it's divisible by 5. Does 5 go into that number? No, because 5 has to end with 0 or 1. 323 is probably prime.
0, 1, or 5.
Yeah, or 5. That's a 5, can't you tell? This is now the 3rd time today I've been wrong. Twice in 8, once in 7. It's just going to be, it must be the heat it's getting. Is 323 prime? You could go and say yes, but there's no really easy way to figure out because there's other numbers. You have to think about, would 7 go into this? And there's no rules of divisibility really for 7, except to think about it. 7 go into 323, you kind of have to go on 7 goes into 32, what? 4 times, and that's 28, and you get 43. So 7 doesn't go into it, but does 11 go into it? And blah, 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 blah. It's really hard to figure out if really big numbers are prime, because there's so many, you have to think about 13. Does 13 go into it? Does 17 go into it? And there's all those sort of things. It's easier to figure out if they're composite, because, well, one or the other. By the way, 9. The sum of the digits works also for 9. 9 would not go into this because 9 doesn't go into 6. 9 doesn't go into this one, but it still works for that. That is some digits. Like I said, it's hard to figure out if something. Oh, guess what? We still have to do one last piece of paper. You should be happy about that. 4 pages today.